Breaking news, deputies arrest a 13-year-old boy after they say they were tipped off that he was going to kill students and staff on campus today. CBS NLA's Rachel Kim is in downtown LA with more on what investigators found, and just so disturbing, Rachel.
Yeah, definitely, Jazz. A news conference just wrapped up regarding that 13-year-old boy who was taken into custody for threats that he said would have been carried out today. Let's go to some video we shot for you from that news conference. Sheriff Alex Villanueva says deputies responded to a call of a student who threatened to shoot other students and staff at Animo May Charter Middle School in South LA. It was a verbal threat the 13-year-old made, and the people who heard it told school officials, and those school officials called authorities. Now, the sheriff says the investigators got a search warrant for the boy's home, and they ended up seizing an AR-15 rifle, 100 rounds of ammunition, a list of intended victims, and a drawing of the school layout. The sheriff says the weapon does have a serial number, but it is not registered. An adult male relative of the 13-year-old boy was also arrested on weapons-related charges. So right now, investigators are still trying to figure out a motive. They say they have a lot of more interviews to do to figure out this motive. And again, that 13-year-old boy is in custody, and so is that male adult relative. Jazz, back to you.
Rachel, the sheriff's department, they just have received a number of these threats. I think they said a series of threats since the Saugus High School shooting. What about a threat in Palmdale that you're hearing about?
Yeah, during this news conference, they did mention that there was another threat at Pete Knight High School in Palmdale. This happened yesterday. They arrested a student there, age not known, but a male student at that high school, for posting online social media threats against the school. Somehow authorities were alerted to it, thankfully, and they arrested this boy. They say that he admitted to making these threats on social media. They found a picture of someone else, not the suspect himself, but of a person holding a firearm and some bullets. So definitely alarming. But the good news is that deputies arrested this student before anything happened. And again, they're still trying to figure out why.
And in the case of the middle school, I mean, this is a perfect example of what the sheriff said. You see something, say something, right?
Exactly. He really emphasized that, Jazz. He says this is a great example of why it is so important. Anyone, a student, a school authority, anyone who hears of something, even if they think it's nothing, just to alert authorities, because it could prevent a devastating situation.